have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome into the studio today. We want to welcome everybody in today. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Dwayne, and you can reach me at on TikTok at Dwayne Turn Silk. And I just want to welcome everyone in. My co-host today is Sissy. Hey, Sissy.
Hi, Dwayne. How are you? Hi, viewers. How is everybody today? I am Sissy, and you can reach me at Sissy11251 on TikTok. I'd like to also give a big shout out to the Queen herself, Miss Angela with the crew. We're here the second and fourth Wednesday of every month, and 8 o'clock. That's on the East Coast, and for me here in California, we're at 5 o'clock. So we're going to be covering a lot of things today. Dwayne, I know that you're really big on prison reform.
Yes, we're definitely going to cover a lot of topics. Everything from prison reform to the prison pipeline to relationships to all kind of
You
things.
know what? You know what I hate? I hate when you go into a fast food place and you order extra of something and then you just don't.
You
You just,
don't get it.
yes,
Just don't.
you just
Well, with
don't.
us, we're going to do anything and we're going to be anything but bite size.
That's
So
true.
you
That's
can
true.
definitely understand that. Yeah. So definitely, we want to come today and just have fun. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the information that we have. We want to kind of first start off with a recap of things that we left off on before, and one is Tristan Weekly. We have a young man that was in Frisco, Texas, that he was accosted inside of his school, and his mom is fighting the fight to find out who it was that intruded upon his peace that day. So we want to keep him and his mother and his family in our prayers, and we want to make sure that we're able to participate in her quest for justice for Tristan Weekly. We also want to give an update about Christopher Nienhuis. He's a young man that was accosted in Midlothian, Texas. He and some friends were at a park, and he had some young kids that were at that park aggressing upon them. He defended himself, and they arrested him. Um, he was out on bond, and in that interim, they found a reason to try to revocate his bond, and they picked him up. And he has a court date coming on next Tuesday, on the 17th. And we want to ask anyone that may be in the DFW area in Texas, that's the Dallas Fort Worth area, if you can, go to the court and show him support on next Tuesday. And I believe it starts around 8:15 a.m. So you can get there around 8 a.m. It's on the third floor, and you'll be able to find that information probably on my TikTok at Dwayne Turn Silk. I'll probably put it up sometime this weekend. Also, with Carmelo Anthony, that young man was also in Frisco, Texas, just as well as Tristan Weekly, and he was at a sporting event, at a track event, and some young men aggressed upon him. Felt they had the need to make him move, and they assaulted him, and he defended himself. And unfortunately, one young man lost his life, and he was charged with that moment of that young man losing his life. He's fighting for his freedom. He's out on bond, and we ask people to make sure that they're supporting that family and keeping them in your prayers, because we do have a search for justice for Carmelo, because self defense is not a crime. And we want to make sure that we're being aware of those things. And you can find out more information on our TikToks. If you want to find out information about the GoFundMe for Tristan Weekly, or the Gifts and Goes for Carmelo Anthony and also Christopher Nienice, you can look on Sissy's page on TikTok, and she has all those links there.
I do. Regarding Tristan Weekly, just a real quick recap too for the viewers. Her son, uh, somebody pricked his finger, and it was acetone that was found, and he ran. When she went to look at the video, there was a lot of people. There was nobody. I'm sorry, there was nobody in the video, and he had his backpack on. So who released him early? When she went back to see the video, there was a lot of people in the video, so they doctored it. She has a new legal team now. They're going to get to the bottom of that. Regarding Mr. Neenheis, something that's real important for the viewers to realize is that when you go in for a UA, you don't sign out. You go in for the UA. So they're trying to keep this young man. They do have 7 days after the intake and his bail revoked to have another bond hearing. That would have been this last Tuesday, the 3rd. So they've already impeded upon his civil rights, but it is set for this next Tuesday coming up, the 17th. So like Dwayne was saying, if you want to come support him and his family, that's in Frisco, Texas, this upcoming Tuesday on the 17th. And Carmelo Anthony, he has a court date of June 1st. So it's crunch time. A lot of different things are coming about with that case. And if you want to come, Tiffany Billions is the lead advocator for Carmelo Anthony. She will be live today on TikTok, and she goes live periodically. You can find the advocators at all times of day on TikTok. They will come up in your FYP for sure, advocating for this young man. So, and like Dwayne was also saying, on my page on TikTok, which is Sissy11251, I do have all the links to their Gifts and Go or GoFundMe's, depending on which one it is, if you'd like to support their families. So any and all help is thankful. They have a lot of money going out to further this case for justice, and so I don't even want to center myself and say, I don't want to think about the angst they're going through, but any and all help is appreciated. If you don't have the funds to, you could actually send a thought or a prayer too. So please check that out.
Most definitely. And we definitely want to make sure that we're supporting them in any way we can. Again, as Sissy said, June 1st is the court date that Carmelo Anthony has set for his trial. Tristan Weekly, his mom, is really about to start concentrating even more, getting back on the road to seek justice for him. So we want to make sure that we're supporting Miss Weekly in every way we can to find that justice for Tristan. And as she said as well, Christopher Neenheis, he has his court date on the 17th at 8:15 a.m. I believe it is, on the third floor, and that's in actually it's in Ellis County. It's at the Ellis County Courthouse. And so just go ahead and Google that. It's on the third floor, and you can come out and you can be there to help support. That's probably one of the reasons why they went ahead and set a court date, is because people like Love Black, and that's on TikTok, and also Really Real, have been doing a campaign to call and send emails and write the court and find out why they were holding this young man, and had people like myself and others that actually went to the courthouse to inquire on those moments as well. And so a concerted effort of the community coming together from all over the U.S. and helping out to further get Christopher back home so he can fight this case. By the way, he has no court date for the felony charge. Only court date he had, they set it for the misdemeanor charge at the end of this month, and they were just going to try to hide that fact. But we're blessed, and we're praying that the outcome come to where it's supposed to be, and that's the reinstatement of his bond on the 17th.
Dwayne, I bet you never thought you'd be the man on the street, huh? Out with the people. Out with the
Not at all,
people.
not at all. And it
Yes.
was it was by happenstance that I was just in the area on business, and I went ahead and was like, you know what? Let me stop and let me go and check. And I did, and had some good conversations. I called a few of my friends to do the same thing, and they did. And those conversations were very fruitful. And that's what it takes. It takes a village, and not meaning that you have to be out there with picket signs and all that stuff. That has its place. But just to advocate on someone's behalf may just be a phone call, maybe an email, maybe something simple to help change someone else's direction in their life. And that's what this is about. We want to make sure that Christopher Neenhouse can get back home and try to get some semblance of his life back after this situation because he was aggressed upon. So we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to help him out in this situation and his family.
Yeah, a couple things. Texas is its own little entity, and it is a stand your ground state, as most of you are aware of, and without duty to retreat. Now let's examine that for just a minute. Tristan, young boy, and he was smart enough to run. He got
Yeah,
home. He got home to Miss Weekly. He got home to Chandra. So he was smart enough. We don't know what would have happened because the situations weren't, he was very lucky. However, very peculiar situations with that. So I know her legal team is all over it. And as far as Christopher, without a duty to retreat, he tried. He did.
yeah,
He didn't have to retreat, but he did, and they still aggressed upon him after being spat upon, which is chemical warfare.
yes,
So, um, you know, for this injustice the system is not working here. So, and as far as Carmelo, proportionality, each one of those boys, four of them, laid their hands on him.
yes,
Self-defense is not a crime. So June 1st court date is just around the corner, guys. We're going to keep bringing you updates on that. So, and we're going to open some panels too on TikTok, and we will post it in our bios, letting you know. So if you're available, please come be part of the discussion on that. But hey, listen, Dwayne, it's
yes,
Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's Day's coming up. So
yes, it is.
excited. So you and your wife, you've been married for how long now?
Been married 30 years as of this year. Yeah. And so we hit that 30-year milestone this year.
My husband and I next month is our 35th anniversary.
Oh, yes.
So
Congratulations.
he deserves a blue medal.
Most definitely. I
I
know my wife does.
I
Dealing with
I
me.
picked good, Dwayne. I picked good. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know she's ready for me to get home, so we're actually not going to celebrate it on Valentine's Day because she actually has to work. But we're going to probably go out to a nice dinner on Monday and celebrate it on that day. But we'll still, sneak each other some chocolates and everything else and some flowers on Valentine's Day.
Love it.
But we'll celebrate it on Monday.
My husband has to work also on Saturday, so we're going to be
Yeah,
celebrating it Monday the 16th. Um, so he's taking me out to some Teppan cooking
that's
because
what I'm talking about.
you know what I really love about spending time with him is he's my best friend.
Yes,
He's
yes,
my best friend. So, you have your blood family out there, and then you have those friendships in your life that you choose, whether they're platonic
right.
friendships or grow into something more. And
Yeah.
ours definitely grew into something more 35 years later. He's still putting up with me.
You're right about it, and it's funny you say that because my wife and I we met at work. We were working at a place. She was working part time. I was working part time, and we just happened. And we were on separate shifts, and I was just happened to work a little late into her shift, and I was on my way to church. So I had on my nice suit, and I was all clean, and I was just helping out that day, and she was like, "Hey, how are you?" And I was like, "How are you?" And we got to talking, and we became friends, and it went off to a moment that she started coming to church with me, and we started hanging out, and we became real good friends, and that friendship led to us actually being married. And we, through the ups and downs, I think that's what keeps us grounded, is that we were friends first, and we're real good friends, and we're real good communicators in our relationship. And I think that's what keeps the glue of the foundation strong. So we don't have to worry about calling the foundation fixer upper. They come help us out.
My my husband and I were in the military, and they were launching. Where we were stationed is the only place in the world, quite honestly, that you can do a polar orbit. So they were
Oh,
launching some missiles, and using they built this really nice what they call a slick. That's where they release different things from, that use the rocket boosters from the space shuttle. So that's a lot of power. And I
wow.
was living in a near I was living in a nearby community there, and everything was knocked off my walls. In my apartment complex, the pool was cracked. It was not a good thing. It was too close to civilization. It needed to be further out, but because it's on the coast here in California, he helped me. My husband came over and helped me pick up. My house was in shambles from this, and we got to know each other, and the rest is history.
Wow.
That's how I met my husband. Yeah,
And that's the beauty of relationships. They just they start out uh, organic, and they start out innocent, and they morph into something so beautiful and great. And I think that leads us to our topic today, which we're talking about friendships, talking about healthy friendships and relationships. And I think it brings us to that moment of how do we get to those healthy friendships and avoid the toxic friendships that we can pick up along the way. And I
the
think that's
foes,
something that
people.
we,
He's talking about the foes,
I know, right?
those
Sometimes we,
frenemies. You know how those frenemies
yeah.
are.
What did Erica Badu, which is I love her, one of our Dallas singers. She said she had a song that said, "I'll bet you I'll make you put the phone down," and I think sometimes we do have to. I know sometimes I have to be mindful of putting my phone down and giving my wife the attention that she deserves because I have so many things going on, and it has to do with both of my phones and my tablet. So sometimes I'm multitasking, and I have to remind myself to give my wife that time because we don't see each other that much and this time and space anymore. So I have to make sure that we're spending that quality time, and I think that translates to friendships. Um,
Totally.
I
Yeah.
think sometimes we forget that our friendships, we have categories of friendships. We have those best friends, those long life friends and long term friends. We have those temporary friends that just we may know of and may become friends and they're
Dwayne,
not there no more.
Dwayne, you're so busy, and you have two phones and a tablet. I'm your friend, and I feel neglected. I can only imagine what your wife feels like.
I know, right?
Just saying.
Sometimes I have to call you and apologize. And that's I think sometimes we forget that those friendships can be in different categories, and sometimes we forget that category of those solid friends, those friends that's going to be there, that I can be your friend at 17 and not see you again at 24, and we see each other and pick back up like we were 17
Right
again
where you left
because
off.
we yeah, right where we left off,
Yes.
because the
Yes.
friendship has a foundation. And I think those are the things that we miss because, especially in social media, as we see on TikTok, people claim to be friends and family and all kind of things, but you let one thing happen, and all of a sudden it's World War III in their friendship because they have no foundation at all. They only have something in common at the time, and that's social media.
Well, this is why, since we're all kind of married to our phone, I send you texts and I say, hey, just wanted to say hi.
Yeah,
Just takes a second to do, guys, just to let the person know you're thinking of them. And that's what I do, you know?
yeah.
Because, Dwayne, do you rest? Do you rest? Do
I
you?
think I rest. I
Oh,
think when
just
I
think.
close my eyes, I think I thought about it, and maybe when I wake up, maybe I slept a little bit. And I know the same goes for you. I think
I
sometimes
know.
you'll tell me I'm going to sleep, and then all of a sudden I'll get a text. Hey, I was thinking about something. I was like, didn't she say she was just going to sleep 2 hours ago?
No. For all those who don't know, I'm in my last year of residency. So between that and working, time management is of utmost importance. So I get it. And it's those small things, especially the days we live in. You know, it's wonderful to have the phones because it keeps you organized. It's a blessing and it's a curse,
Yes.
because now when I don't have my phone or I can't find my phone, do you ever go through a panic mode like, where did I leave it? And
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the horrible part. It's a curse and it's a blessing. Because I just find myself so consumed with doing things and keeping organized and being on my phone, from social media to other things too, that my friends and my relationships, they get neglected. They get neglected.
Yes.
So use it to your benefit. Just send those little messages and let them know, hey, listen, I'm going to call you, but I was thinking about you and just wanted to say hi.
Most
Just
definitely.
wanted to
And
say,
that's
yeah.
and that's the important part, that we have to um, focus our minds on nourishing the relationships that we have. Now, the temporary relationships, they're going to go how they're going to go. I don't care how you nurture those, and how you try to finagle them. They're just not going to be there because they were only there for a season anyway. But your long term and your foundational friendships, those are things that you have to nourish. You have to give some type of food to feed those relationships. And as Sissy was saying, you have to send that text message. You have to send that email. You have to sometimes get on that FaceTime. You have to sometimes get on the phone and call. My best friend and I, we've been best friends since we were preteens, and we actually started out about to fight each other because of our little brothers. And he found out who I was, and he was like, "You talking about that, Dwayne?" And at that point, he reached out to me to talk because my reputation preceded itself. And the same thing goes for him. His reputation preceded itself. When my little brother told me about him, I was like, "You talking about that dude?" And he was like, "Yeah." So we both had the same thing in mind. Why am I going to fight him? Because we might have some issues going on after the fact. So we actually began to talk to each other, and actually formed a bond that we had a 20-year gap of not seeing each other. And when we saw each other and talked again and met again, it was like we were still teenagers again. And
Aw.
that's what lifelong relationships that were nurtured properly, that's what they do for you. And that's why that's my best friend, because if I don't talk to them for a week, I'm talking and checking on him. I'm texting. He's texting me, but we don't have to see each other every day because we can pick back up next month, next week. I can ask him about his wife. He can ask him about mine. We can ask about our kids and our grandkids. And when we see each other, it's just like we never missed each other, like we never ever left each other from back in the day. And that is a healthy friendship.
My next door neighbors, when I was stationed in Southern California, 90 in 90 94 93 93 probably, so well over 30 years. She lives in Georgia. We're still good friends.
Yes,
And being
yes,
and they're being in the military as well, that's really, a lot of people come and go through your life because you
you're
move
right.
a lot when you're in the military. So that is definitely something to be said. It takes time. Relationships, no matter what you have, whether it's your relationships with your children, whether it's relationships with a friend, or a colleague, work relationships, friendships, your spouse, your children. I don't know if I said that, probably did, but they all take work, and it's so hard these days because you know what? I don't know about you, but I'm go do do,
Yeah.
just going all the
Most
time. So
definitely.
yeah.
Most definitely. And it definitely takes work. It takes sacrifice.
You know how it is,
Sometimes you
viewers.
have
You
to,
get it. You get it.
yeah,
I know they
most
get it.
definitely. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your pride in your friendships. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your time, your effort, and your sleep in your friendships because of the nature of that beast. But guess what? Where we're talking about the healthy relationships, we're talking about the relationships that may be short term, maybe long term, off and on. Those are healthy. But what about the toxic relationships? that we pick up along the way? What about the people that we think they may be good for us, but we find out that they bring drama, that they bring issues, that they bring stress, they bring wrinkle lines across your forehead because
Mm.
you're worried about being
Trauma
around them all the
dumping.
time.
Trauma dumping.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
of that, and that's Erica Badu had another song called "Bag Lady," and that's where these people come from. They're bag ladies and men, and they bring their baggage to your life and the drama to your life. In those situations, Sissy, what do you feel is the best way to identify and then also remove those toxic friends from your life?
Well, I think when you identify it, it's not you judging. So please give yourself grace and realize that, first of all. It's protecting your peace, protecting your joy. So you have to look at it like that. And it's not that you don't wish anybody any harm or ill will or anything, but you have to draw those boundaries at times. So once you identify that, and listen, especially when I don't know about you, I'm not a guy, I'm a girl. So we have that women's intuition that, you've heard everybody talk about. We do. Listen to it. And,
Yes.
each time things happen in your life, think back to yourself, viewers. Don't you wish you would have listened to it and you didn't? That's what you have. You've got that secret little intuition. So that's going to kind of give you those air quotes, the red flags. Yeah, because you want to protect that joy. You want to protect that. I had a really good friend on TikTok. I call him my TikTok pops, and he does motivational speaking and different clips and stuff like that. And he had this basketball, and he said, "Don't toss your basketball around. Don't flip it side to side. That's your joy. You want to protect that joy. Don't let anybody knock that joy out." And it's so true. It's so true.
Yes.
Okay, you can't get it back. So you have to set those boundaries. And the thing is that if they're kind and gentle and understanding enough when you do set those boundaries, then you're going to know that you did it for a reason and you could possibly build on that. And maybe you were wrong. But if you're right, they're not going to, and they're going to take offense. And that
Correct.
that in turn will tell you uh, where they are as a person. So, it's a fine boundary. Sometimes there's those people that you just have to keep at a distance too. It's
Yes.
it's
As they
it's.
used to say, the old people used to say, treat them with a long handled spoon and
Hold
keep them
on,
at a
let me go get
distance.
my spoon.
Yeah.
True,
And
and
that's true.
you hate to because let me tell you, Dwayne, I'm a people pleaser. I am, and so I'm afraid I'm going to hurt people's feelings. And I'm just now. I'm pushing 60. I'm 57 years old. I'm just now learning to set those boundaries myself. It takes
Yeah.
it takes a long time. You know, it's like if you're a salesperson, you're either a good salesperson or you're just not. And I wouldn't be a good salesperson. I Setting boundaries is not a super easy thing to do because I'm afraid I'm going to stomp on somebody's feelings. I'm always, even if somebody does me wrong, I'll talk to them anyhow.
I know, right? Yeah, I've been in them shoes. I've done that before,
Yeah.
and to my detriment, still have grace when they don't have no grace for you. And I think that's the key is being able to set those boundaries and let those toxic people know that hey, this is my boundary line, and you have to get to a point to be strong enough. If they break that boundary line after you set it, to be strong enough to let them go and be able to move on. And I think that's what a lot of us, and I've done it. I've done it many a times in my life. I've kept toxic people around because that's my friend. I love them so. They've been there for me. And when you go back and you look back over your life, like the gospel song says, and I think things over, I can truly say, not that I was blessed, but I can truly say that that person was bringing drama to my life. And it's time for me to kick them to the curb. And I think I had to learn that behavior because it was hard for me to let someone go because of just loyalty and love and loving so hard. But at the same time, that person is draining you every day and taking everything from you. And you have to learn to be able to first set the boundaries, Identify those boundaries, let them know and verbalize those boundaries. But if they cannot adhere to those boundaries, then you have to let them go. Because some of them may turn it around and maybe become a good friend, but you
That
have to set the boundaries.
just recently happened to me. And you know what?
Yeah.
When it wasn't resolved after several times, I just removed myself from a situation completely. Yeah,
Yes.
let me not center myself. Don't center yourself. Listen, if you're not getting any resolution, no matter how many times, just remove yourself from the situation, guys. Super easy. It really
Yes.
is. You know, you may come in contact with them through, because we all have friends of friends, do we not? Right? We're all connected
Yes.
with somebody. Yeah. So you're going to run into each other, or you're going to see one another. Maybe you have a common craft or something that you do, and so you're going to meet up with them. But I'm going to stay in my lane and just stay in yours. It's all good.
And
Yeah.
that's correct. That's
Boundaries,
correct.
boundaries.
Boundaries are important. If you want to have a healthy relationship, you have to have boundaries. My wife and I have boundaries, and that's just the relationship. I remember when we first got together, my wife told me this. She said, "I don't care what you do, just don't bring home no new kids." And I'm looking at my wife like, "Huh?" And she said it with such a straight face, looking at me, and I'm like, "What do you
Oh,
mean,
I
don't bring home
love
no
your
new
wife.
kids?"
That's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. And so, but I understood the overtone of that moment. She was like, "I trust you. Don't do anything to break my trust." And I think that sometimes we have to use that same type of banter and levity in our building of friendships, and let your friend know what your boundaries are in the beginning. Hey, I like you as a friend. I have certain boundaries that I live by. Please don't do this, or the other. And if we can do that, then we're good. But if you never set the boundary, what do you expect for them to follow?
Yeah, you know what? And I think too, with a lot of people, like, okay, as a parent, we've raised kids, okay, and you tell your child, don't touch the stove, it's hot. So what
Yes,
do? They didn't um, listen, adhere to that boundary, and let's just say they touched it. They found out what the consequence is, isn't it? Because
yes,
it hurts. Oh, I got to burn my finger. Let's put some ice on it. Blah blah. Okay, yeah. So with friendships, yeah. So it's what's that hot stone or that hot stove, right? You have to hold to it. If you set the boundaries and they're crossed, you really do have to hold to it. There has to be a consequence for that, whether it's a verbal, you know, um, because listen, we have one shot at this life, guys. Protect that peace. Really, protect your peace.
yes. And that's what's important, protecting the individual peace. Because without peace, you don't have anything. You just don't. You can't get the joy. You can't get to anything else in your life without peace, because you're disturbed at that point. And nothing else really works out. All the money in the world can't bring you peace. You have to learn that peace.
You can't have
Yeah,
it. You can't have it, and I won't give it to you.
you're right.
A lot of people will try to take it. You can't have my peace.
You're right about it, and that's bottom line. And so that is one of the major boundaries in a friendship, in a relationship, is the peace. I want to keep my peace at all costs, and that means that my boundaries are specifically set to make sure I'm at peace at all times. And if my peace is being disturbed, that means someone disturbed my boundaries. Someone went across my boundaries, and I need to figure out who that was so I can quickly show them the exit stage right.
Oh, exit stage right, not the exit
Yeah,
stage right. Okay, when he starts to like fling cartoon, that you know he's tired.
yeah,
That's all, folks.
yeah. Most
I love
definitely.
it.
And that's just the thing of relationships that I love to talk about, is because a relationship is something that we all have to go through, whether that was in preschool, our first time at daycare, our first day in kindergarten, when mom dropped us off, dad dropped us off, because
Well, Dwayne's
You're missing
participating
in that
right now,
moment,
so while he
and you have to
pixelates,
go
I'm going
in.
to talk to the young ones out there too, because his connection's not doing too well right now. For all of those who are
Yeah.
listening that are young and you're in school, or maybe you're older and you're in school, social classes, sociology. As long as you live, you will always have to deal with people. Take some social classes; it will do you good. Are you back, Dwayne?
Yes, I'm back now.
Okay,
I
sorry
got a
about
call.
that.
Yeah, someone disturbed me for a second, trying to
Oh,
disturb my peace with a phone call.
see, that's what happens. Firsthand.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to put it on do not disturb from now on, so I don't get those disturbing moments. But we all have to build relationships. Playground. When we get to middle school, we have to learn those different moment and social experience that they call middle school. Learning how to just be on our own and focus on learning new people and new things. And if we can go back and rebuild those things again and take the tools that we have now as grown people and learn that, hey, if I just protected my peace when I was in third grade or protected my peace when I was in seventh grade, then I can really know what relationships are right now. And I think a lot of people struggle in their romances and their marriages and their relationships with their significant other because they never learned how to build a proper relationship with friends.
Yeah, and I don't know the exact statistics on this. I would just say, hey, viewers, listen for a second. Just think to yourself, okay, of different situations that you've been in throughout your life, right? And or maybe you know somebody even, depending on how this applies to you. And you look back on different scenarios, whether it's your life or their life or whomever you're thinking of, and you think, wow, they didn't learn the first time. They didn't
Yeah,
learn the second time or the third time, and they keep repeating it over and over. And if you think about it, that's a huge percentage of most people that will actually. I don't want to say it's an offense, but definitely, if you didn't learn the first time and you keep repeating it, it's an issue. And the reason why is because they don't either realize it or they do, and they don't know how to fix it.
correct,
So
correct.
they're giving up their peace. Um, or let's just say that they like drama. You have those friends who are addicted to the drama, and
Yes,
I don't want that drama. So when I find out that someone really likes that and I see different things, that then I I pull that boundary thing, and you just kind of learn to know what time of day it is in people's lives. But um there are some good therapists out there, and you know what else makes a really good therapist? A friend.
yes,
Because once you get that proverbial aha moment in your brain of, I've realized that this keeps happening, how can I stop this? Like, and I'll be like, okay, Dwayne, so now this is what's happening. Blah, 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 blah. Your friends are there to talk to too. You don't have to have a doctor, psychologist, or psychiatrist to go to. But the thing is that you have to change it. So if you're not able to change it on your own, you may want to seek counseling. But you know what? Realizing that that's an issue is the first step, because your peace is so important, guys. Please hear me. Your peace. Going and doing and having a busy lifestyle, it's inevitable. This is the day and age we live in. Keep that peace close, guys, as much as you can. And you have control over that with your friendships. And so you need to put those boundaries up. That's all.
you definitely do. And again, that peace, the scripture says that peace that passeth all understanding. I think that we can get that understanding when we start forming healthy relationships, and that relationship with God, with your Creator, with your family, with your friends, with people around you. Since we're on social media like we are, forming healthy relationships online will help you get the peace. But when you find those toxic, as Sissy said, those drama kings and queens on social media, learn to move those people around
You know
because
the
they
one.
will disturb your peace. And I can attest to that. I raise my hand because I've had some toxic people on TikTok and social media, Instagram and X, that have disturbed my peace, and I had to learn to take a step back and learn that regardless of what it is and how it's coming, it only affects me when I allow it to affect me. And so I had to take that step back and start really putting it in place and putting it in categories and letting myself know I am the protector of my peace. I can only allow someone to disturb my peace if I allow them to. I don't have to allow them to.
You don't. And what you need to realize, guys, is that if you do finally figure out that, hey, maybe it's time to separate from someone that you've known for a while, you're going to grieve a little bit. You really will.
Yes,
Because
yes.
even though maybe it was a toxic relationship or not a healthy relationship, just one that you don't foresee it benefiting to either.
I think we lost Sissy, but I think what she was saying is that somewhere in there we have to find that balance, that healthy balance of the relationship and what's going on with the relationship, so we can steady the ship. And you have to almost use that analogy of a ship at sea. Whether you have the sails up, whether you're using the motor, you have to have balance. If not, the waves are going to take you over and they're going to overtake you. And in that, we have to make sure that we're keeping that balance in our lives. Being able to know that if I do have to let someone go out of my life, give yourself that opportunity to grieve. Give yourself that time to know that, okay, I just had to separate myself from someone I've been knowing 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, a decade or two, and give yourself that time to grieve that and know that it's okay to grieve it, to miss that individual, but you still have to take account and take stock of the moment and say, is it worth me allowing that person back in my life to disturb my peace again? Is it worth me putting myself back through the trauma and the drama that that individual came with? Like I said, Erica Badu wrote that song. It said, "Bag lady, you're gonna miss your bus, dragging all those bags like that." And at the end of the day, if we keep allowing the toxicity and the more in their lives to come into our lives, then we put ourselves in a bad position of not actually knowing what to do, how to do it, and what to do from there. And so we must protect our peace at all costs. Protect your peace at all costs. And with that, I want to say that I want everyone to know that if you need to get in touch with us, you can always contact us at on our social media at TikTok. You can contact me at mine at Dwayne Turn Silk. You can contact Sissy at hers at Sissy11251. And you can also reach us at our email, which is extra scoop podcast at gmail.com. And also we have a TikTok, which is also extra scoop podcast. And you can reach us and you can definitely keep up with us. Ask us any questions. If you have any show ideas, if you have any questions for us, then you can hit us up at any time and we'll be here. I want to thank everyone for coming out and I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. And just know that we are excited to always give you the information here at Extra Scoop. And just know we're anything but bite sized. Thank you guys for coming. We appreciate you, and y'all have a good evening. God bless you, and continue to stay at peace at all times. Thank you.